The Golden State Warriors did exactly what Draymond Green said they had the opportunity to do last night, and that is possibly put an end to their season. They won 133-110. On top of all of the smack that the Houston Rockets were talking, bringing the Golden State Warriors in, they stood tall, they played good defense, they had a little bit too many turnovers, but they cleaned it up since then. And what happens now, moving forward, is that the Golden State Warriors would possibly lock a top 10 spot in the Western Conference, move their way into the play-in. The Rockets could possibly come back. They're not completely out of the play-in contention right now, but they'd have to win every single game from here on out, and the Warriors would have to drop at least 5 of their next games. The way the Warriors are playing, I just don't see that happening. So on Warriors Today by Chat Sports, you got Allie Barefoot here. I'm going to talk about the Warriors' playoff chances and what's been working for the Warriors. And I also want to update you guys on Jonathan Kuminga's injury, as it seems a little bit more extensive than we originally thought. But first, I gotta bring up Tari Eason. What are you doing, man? He's wearing a Warriors come out to play shirt on the bench. You're not even playing, Tari Eason. You got clowned at your own home court by Draymond Green, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. Yeah, they exchanged a couple words after the game and blah, 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 but this was a next level corny move, especially since the Warriors dominated. So that's what I want you guys to start this video off here. If you loved the Warriors win over the Houston Rockets just to end their possible play-in contention rankings and have the Warriors just really smooth sail into that 10th space, well, then all you guys got to do is go on ahead and like this video for me. We're going to try to hit 200 likes today, so it starts with you guys. Hit that thumbs up button, and let's pull up the playoff picture to show you guys what the Warriors are doing right now ahead of the Houston Rockets. They're now 4 games ahead of Houston, who is in 11th place. But the beauty of this is that they're actually 1.5 games behind Los Angeles. So no, the 10th seed is not the ceiling for the Golden State Warriors. If everything worked out in the Golden State Warriors' favor, the highest they could go this year is the 4th seed heading into the playoffs. That is a little bit out of reach at this point. I think the Warriors are mainly just looking to get above the Los Angeles Lakers, but it does look like the Lakers and the Warriors, as of today, would be a play-in game to try and get to the postseason. The good news is that they actually will face the Lakers one more time before they head into the postseason, and the Warriors only have the 21st hardest strength of schedule remaining in the NBA. So if you're 21 out of 30 teams, I like those chances of the Warriors. The way they're playing right now is that they should have a winning record moving into the postseason, especially since the Warriors have the longest active win streak right now of 6 straight games. This is also the longest win streak of the Warriors this season, as they've only come close to a 5-game win streak. So I say we keep this ball rolling tonight against the Dallas Mavericks. And I noticed this tweet from Danny Emmerman that I really did like, saying, Warriors with a puncher's chance at stealing the 9th seed, outside shot at any more. Next couple of games will dictate how much, if at all, Warriors can get Steph Curry extra rest before the postseason, because the more games they win, the more those starters can start to have less minutes and really gear up for the postseason. He said any run through the play-in and beyond will be a grind, so they'll need Steph Curry fresh. Well, the good part is that mentally, it seems like the entire Golden State Warriors team is definitely there. Physically, we're going to talk about that more towards the end of the show, but I want to pull up what Draymond Green said about last night's win over the Houston Rockets, saying, securing the top 10 allows you to now focus on what you can do to move up. When you're just trying to solidify, you take everything step by step. The first step is to solidify ourselves a chance. Now that we've got that chance, it's like, what's next? What's the best chance we can give ourselves? So I do want to talk about what that next chance and what that best opportunity for the Warriors is going to look like heading into the postseason. And like I said, I want to update you on Jonathan Kuminga ahead of tonight's game against the Dallas Mavericks and really for the rest of the regular season. So stick around for that. But in the meantime, I got to tell you guys about this sponsor here on Warriors Today. I'm playing it. Producer Cohen's playing it. Here's why you guys should too. It's called Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app in America for a very good reason. I never like to put money down on games. I'm not good at math. I didn't understand it, and I never won. But now, because I play Prize Picks, the fact that it's so aesthetically easy makes me want to keep coming back for more. All you have to do is pick between 2 to 6 players and just pick more or less on their player projected stats, and you can win up to 100 times your money right now with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000 with basketball, hockey, college basketball entries today on PrizePicks. You guys know March Madness is finally here. The Final Four games are going on tonight, but I just wanted to focus on the NBA games at hand, and then I'll move in to my Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers, and so forth in the NCAA men and women's tournament, which they do have picks on right now. But I just wanted to focus on the dunks category, mainly for the NBA. 1.5 dunks for Tingus Pingus, possibly over a player like Sabonis. That would be insane, and I got it. Taking them more. And then I have Dante DiVincenzo and Kobe White to have more than 7 3-pointers made. Dante DiVincenzo has been shooting lights out from downtown. Kobe White is pretty much the only secure shooter on the Chicago Bulls right now anyways, so why would I not take the more? You guys can copy my picks, or you can go on ahead and make your own. Just go to prizepicks.com/CLNS using that promo code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types. That's what makes PrizePicks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Pick more, pick less. It is that easy. I got to talk about the Warriors' defense that I have seen over the last 6 games, especially the defense that I saw last night against the Houston Rockets, who really spread out their offense quite often playing against the Golden State Warriors. But the way that they had maximized on turnovers, they had over 10 for the Houston Rockets, and a lot of those came from steals and blocks. I loved everything I saw from the paint to perimeter defense, and I do think the Warriors are stepping up in this category, and not just from my own eyes, but actually looking at these statistics. In the NBA right now in the last 6 games, they have the 5th best offensive rating in the NBA at 117.6, but their defensive rating, and you guys know the Warriors have struggled on defense this entire season, but to be ranked 4th in the last 6 games, obviously their defense is helping them win these ball games with a side of Splash Brothers from downtown. But there's 2 players I want to talk about here that I personally think are making a difference, and that's going to be Trayce Jackson-Davis and Draymond Green. All season long, I have heard you in the comments. I've been saying it myself. The Warriors need a true big, especially in the ginormous Western Conference that they play in. Trayce Jackson-Davis, having been playing him at the 5 and moving Draymond Green to the 4, has done wonders for the Golden State Warriors. You're training a rookie to become the next face of your franchise in the next couple of years from none other than the most aggressive defensive player I have seen since somebody like Dennis Rodman when you've got Draymond Green. And they have gotten into it on the court because Draymond's coaching him. When you have Trayce Jackson-Davis in the paint, Draymond Green is allowed to space out a little bit more, and if a player gets by Draymond, good luck facing Trayce Jackson-Davis next. This man doesn't just block your shots, he will swat them out of the arena. And when Steph Curry even jumped in on what Trayce Jackson-Davis has been doing for the Warriors in these last 6 games since he's been in the starting lineup, he had nothing but great things to say about the rookie. Trayce has done an unbelievable job of learning how to be aggressive, pick and choose his spots, how to protect the rim, and just play sound defense. Then we're trying to fly around that, and it even helps to have Wiggs applying so much ball pressure to their primary scorer. It just looks like the pieces are fitting right now. And I know Steve Kerr has been experimenting all season long, but I truly feel like TJD at the 5 is your answer. So my question to you guys is, when Kuminga is healthy and you have Trayce Jackson-Davis at the 5, do you keep TJD in the starting lineup heading into the postseason? Because even if you do have to play the Lakers in the first round, you got AD in the paint, and I'll take 6'9" TJD in the paint going up against AD just to add a little bit more height in that paint. So go on ahead and comment whether or not you would like to see Trayce Jackson-Davis stay in the starting lineup down below. But I also got to talk about Jonathan Kuminga. Is he coming back? And is it worth having him come back? Steve Kerr said earlier this week that he was supposed to play against the Houston Rockets, which I completely agreed with. Then it was a blowout, and I was like, well, maybe, I guess it was a good thing he didn't play. He scrimmaged earlier that day, which is what Kareth Burke did tweet out earlier that morning. She said, Kerr anticipated JK would play in Houston, but he's been downgraded to out. And this was just hours before the game. For a 5th straight game with bilateral knee tendonitis. Bilateral means both knees. JK has done 2 scrimmages and isn't quite ready. Hopefully tomorrow, which would now be tonight, against the Dallas Mavericks. And the Warriors aren't out of the weeds yet. Every single game is still a must-win for the Golden State Warriors. But I'm just wondering, is it worth rushing Jonathan Kuminga back into the spot when the Warriors had the longest active win streak right now in the NBA. And Jonathan Kuminga makes a difference. He really does. But healthy Jonathan Kuminga makes a difference. I just don't want him to come back too soon while the Warriors are doing this great, and you end up inflaming and irritating that knee tendonitis even more. So is it worth him to play these next 6 games? Because Steve Kerr was also asked when Kuminga comes back, is he just going to be in the starting lineup? Which is what I would think would happen. But he also said, look, if you're playing well, we might as well keep doing the same thing. And in my mind, and the statistics-wise, Trayce Jackson-Davis is doing a very good job. So is Draymond, Wiggins, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry. That's been the starting 5 the last 6 games, and it's done pretty well. So why mix it up? Well, that's where my question comes to you guys. Go ahead and be Steve Kerr down below. Should Jonathan Kuminga start when he returns from his bilateral knee tendonitis, which just sounds horribly painful? Type Y for yes, type N for no. And while you guys are doing that, just go on ahead and hit that like button for me if you guys enjoyed this video. If you want JK to come back extremely healthy, if you love Trayce Jackson-Davis, or if you are just glad the Warriors have a win streak, all you got to do is like this video.